What if there's something you do every day that your cat secretly dislikes? You'd probably want to know about it. The problem is cats rarely complain. They don't bark or whine. Instead, they simply become quiet and distant. And most owners never realize what caused that distance in the first place. Some of the things you're about to hear might surprise you because they don't look like mistakes. In fact, they often feel kind or completely normal. Let's begin with one that almost everyone gets wrong. 1. Scented candles and essential oils. That vanilla candle you like to light at night after a long day might make your space feel calm. But for your cat, the experience can be the opposite. While you're enjoying the smell, your cat may be overwhelmed by a scent that is far stronger than you realize. A cat's nose contains more than 200 million scent receptors, while humans have only around 5 million. So a fragrance that feels mild to you can feel extremely intense to them. But there's another issue that many owners don't realize. Certain essential oils such as tea tree, eucalyptus, and peppermint can actually be harmful to cats. Cats lack an important liver enzyme called glucuronidase, which means their bodies cannot properly process some of the chemical compounds found in these oils. Even using a diffuser in the same room can potentially lead to symptoms like breathing irritation, drooling, vomiting, or in severe situations, liver problems. What makes this tricky is that cats rarely show dramatic reactions. They don't cough loudly or panic. Instead, they quietly leave the area. Maybe they begin sleeping somewhere else or avoid that room entirely. Because the reaction is subtle, many owners never connect the behavior to the scent in the air. That quiet withdrawal is something we'll return to later, because the way cats silently react when something bothers them is often misunderstood. If you enjoy candles, the solution isn't giving them up entirely. Choose pet-safe options. Keep rooms well ventilated. And avoid using essential oil diffusers in places where your cat can't leave easily. You're relaxing. Routine shouldn't put your cat's health at risk. 2. Making cats share everything. If you live with more than one cat, here's an important question. Have you ever considered that one of them might be quietly unhappy? Many people believe cats will eventually adjust to each other. A new cat arrives, they share the same bowls, the same water fountain, and sometimes even the same litter box. Owners hope they'll naturally sort things out, but cats don't operate that way. Unlike animals that live in packs, cats are naturally territorial and independent. When they're forced to compete for the same resources, it can create ongoing tension. Research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that competition over resources is one of the most common causes of long-term stress in homes with multiple cats. And the stress doesn't always appear as obvious fighting. Sometimes one cat stops eating comfortably. Another may avoid the litter box. One might hide for long periods while the other roams confidently through the house. The solution is actually simple, but many households overlook it. Provide one litter box for each cat, plus an extra. Create separate feeding areas. Add multiple resting places, especially elevated ones. Height is extremely important to cats because it gives them a sense of security and control over their surroundings. You don't necessarily need more space in your home. You just need to stop forcing your cats to compete for the same spots. And if this is already making you rethink something in your own home, consider liking and subscribing so more cat owners can learn how to better understand their cats. 3. Rubbing their belly when they show it. Your cat rolls onto their back and exposes their belly. What's the first thing you do? Most people immediately try to rub it, and seconds later, their hand gets grabbed, kicked, or bitten, then they wonder why. Here's the truth, when a cat exposes their belly, it isn't necessarily an invitation to touch it. It's a signal of trust. Your cat is essentially saying, I feel safe enough around you to show my most vulnerable side. That's very different from asking for belly rubs. From your cat's perspective, the stomach area protects many vital organs in the wild. Exposing it would leave them defenseless. So when your cat does it at home, it actually represents a huge level of trust. But when someone immediately reaches in and touches that area, the message can get misinterpreted. What was meant as a sign of comfort suddenly becomes an uncomfortable interaction. Research from the University of Lincoln showed that cats respond far more positively to petting in certain areas like the cheeks and the base of the ears than they do to being touched on their belly or tail. The findings support what many animal behaviorists have observed for years. The areas cats reveal are not always the areas they want touched. The next time your cat rolls over, try a different response. Stay nearby, speak gently, offer a slow blink. Let them enjoy that moment of vulnerability without turning it into physical contact. Respecting that moment often strengthens trust much more than a belly rub ever could. 4. Staring directly into their eyes. Have you ever stared into your cat's eyes, thinking it was a special bonding moment? What if that stare was actually making them uncomfortable? Among humans, eye contact usually signals attention and emotional connection, but cats interpret it very differently. In feline communication, a long, direct stare can feel like a challenge. It's a signal often associated with tension between animals. So when a person holds an intense gaze, the cat may interpret it as something threatening. They aren't experiencing the warm connection you imagine. Instead, they may feel uneasy. But there is a form of eye contact that cats truly understand. You may have noticed your cat slowly blinking at you, almost like they're sleepy. That gesture carries meaning. A study from the University of Sussex in 2020 found that cats were more likely to approach people who performed a slow blink compared to those who kept a neutral expression. Researchers described it as a form of positive communication between cats and humans. In simple terms, the slow blink is the friendly version of eye contact in the cat world. Instead of staring, soften your gaze and slowly close your eyes for a moment before opening them again. Many cats will blink back. That quiet exchange is one of the clearest ways your cat can say they feel safe around you. 5. Rearranging their environment. Have you ever moved furniture around and noticed your cat behaving strangely afterward? Many people joke that cats are just dramatic, but there's actually a deeper reason behind this reaction. Cats don't see their home the way humans do. To you, it's a collection of rooms and furniture. To your cat, it's a carefully mapped territory where every object plays a role. Each corner, pathway, and scent marker helps them understand their environment. When furniture moves or familiar objects disappear, that internal map suddenly changes. From your cat's perspective, it's as if their territory has been altered overnight. Cats rely heavily on spatial memory, meaning they build a mental blueprint of their surroundings. They also mark objects with scent by rubbing their face against them. Those scent markers reinforce their sense of ownership and safety. When objects are moved or cleaned heavily, those scent markers disappear. The result can be subtle stress responses that many owners overlook. A cat might hide more often, skip meals, or begin avoiding the litter box. If changes need to happen in your home, make them gradually. Move 1 or 2 things at a time so your cat can adjust. Give them time to re-explore and to mark the space again. And avoid relocating essentials like food, water, or litter boxes all at once. Small changes feel manageable. Large, sudden ones can feel threatening. 6. Ignoring their attempts to talk. Earlier, we mentioned how cats often become quiet when something bothers them. This final point connects directly to that idea. Here's something surprising. Adult cats rarely meow at each other. The sound is mostly used when communicating with humans. In other words, your cat developed a special way of speaking specifically to you. So what happens when those attempts go unanswered? Every meow by the door, every chirp when you walk into the kitchen, every little trill as they follow you through the house is an attempt to interact. Those sounds aren't random noise. They're communication, but when people consistently ignore those sounds, cats often stop trying. They don't usually become louder or more persistent. Instead, they simply become quieter. Researchers at Sophia University discovered that cats can recognize their owner's voice and distinguish it from strangers. They're not just hearing sound, they know it's you speaking. That realization ties together everything we've talked about. The candle that pushed them quietly out of the room, the territorial stress they endured without fighting, the belly they trusted you to see, the stare they misunderstood. The home that suddenly changed. Through all of it, your cat never complained loudly. They just slowly stepped back, so respond when they speak. Acknowledge them when they follow you. You don't have to understand every sound they make. You simply have to show them that you're listening, because a cat that still talks to you is a cat that still believes you care enough to respond. And that quiet belief is something worth protecting.